I'm going to go ahead and say it. This matchup will determine who wins the NFC South. That's what I believe. I believe that this
Oh,
matchup will determine who wins the NFC South. I wish the Falcons were more healthy for it, but hopefully a lot of these guys can recover in time for Sunday. Alex, I want you to give me your game prediction. Who's going to be the difference in the game, and why are the Falcons going to win? Winky face.
oh, that's very boisterous of you to assume I am picking the Falcons. Hey, last week, both of us were really close. And that's not really saying much. It was the Jets and Falcons. I bet a lot of people thought it was going to be a very ugly game. I think I said 13-10. It ended up being somewhere around there. And I'm going to say another ugly one here. I'm going to say one that's going to have some turnovers. I see the over under at 39. I love the under in that one. Falcons favored by 2.5. I'm going to go I wanted to say 17-14, but I don't see the Falcons covering the spread this week. So I'm trying to think of a score around there without them covering the spread. Let's say 16-14. Young Wei Koo continues to be the only reason the Falcons are winning football games this Sunday.
I see. I'm on the other end of the spectrum, man. I think about this Bucs game, and this was with a healthy Grady Jarrett, with a healthy Falcons defense. The Bucs moved the ball all right. They only ended up with 13 points, but the Falcons offense absolutely destroyed the Bucs that afternoon, and that was on the road. I think they're going to have a lot of success against this Bucs defense that has not been good all year. I talked about their secondary. It's terrible. As long as they can pass protect, they should have a field day throwing the ball. I think the Falcons defense, those injuries, I don't know who's going to be starting for them, but I still am not there with the Falcons defense. I still think they're good. Like, they've been a good unit. They were great against the Jets. They made some timely turnovers against the Saints, but I don't think they're not nearly as good as they were at the beginning of the year, especially with all these injuries. I think the Bucs are going to have success. I'm actually going with a high scoring affair. If I had a bet of the week, and I haven't even looked at the board, I love the over in this game. This game would have sailed over last time had Desmond Ridder not turned the ball over like 3 times, twice at the 1 yard line.
That's a big ad.
Yes, but all right, can we just not turn the ball over at the 1 yard line? Like, let's turn the ball over.
It seems like a tall task for this team.
That's fair, but I love the over in this. Listen, I'm not gonna include 1 yard turnovers in my prediction. I'm gonna assume that if those turnovers do occur, they occur more likely around midfield, where you get good field position for the other team. I like 27-24 Falcons. I like a more high scoring game. I think this is going to be one of the more fun games of the week. I think it's going to be totally opposite of what the Jets game. I think the Falcons injuries play a big factor. I think Desmond Ridder has a good day. I also think he turns the ball over, which is going to help the Bucs score. So I like the over in this game a lot.
I think that if you could count on one thing, there's going to be at least one turnover-worthy play from the Falcons offense. And whether the Bucs capitalize on that is another thing entirely. Hell, from the first play from scrimmage last week against the Jets, we fumbled it and fumbled the center quarterback exchange, and we nearly gave the ball away there. So I think if there's one thing you could take to the bank, it's a turnover-worthy play. Now, whether that nets a turnover is another thing entirely. We've seen time and time again the Falcons get lucky recovering their own fumbles or defenders dropping would-be interceptions. But I think if you could count on one thing, they're gonna put the ball in harm's way. You could take that to the bank. I just have a hard time believing that that's not going to happen in a handful of times from both of these teams. That's the point I'm trying to make, is like, Baker turned the ball over in the red zone in that first matchup too. So both of these teams are turnover-worthy prone. We could see a historically gross over bet get mushed with both of these teams going all the way down the field and then turning the ball over. Both of these quarterbacks are susceptible to do such.
That's definitely would be a mush, but as a sharp bettor here, that's not how you should be looking at these games. You should be looking at how these defenses match up with these offenses. Fair. You got to hope that they don't turn the ball over in the red zone when they get there. Now, there's going to be turnovers, but
hope is not a strategy, my friend.
Turnovers are also good for overs if they happen in the right in the right places. So you got to assume that these turnover-worthy plays can happen all over the field, not just when they're about to score in the red zone. So I actually, if you're taking one thing away with this, I don't know who's going to win, but I love the over. It's always a 3-point win for the Falcons, so you might as well just buy that up or down, whichever way it ends on Sunday. But coming up after the break, let's get into some more MLB winter meetings. The Braves have reportedly been in contact with the Rays surrounding ace Tyler Glassman.